welcome to today's No Sun Salutation yoga class. My name is Telisa. Thank you for joining me. The only prop you'll need today is a strap, but if there's anything else that you know you really like in your practice, then by all means use it, even if I don't cue for it. So we're going to be starting in a child's pose. So knees can be splayed apart or together, personal preference. Pull your hips back, reach your fingertips forward. I want a really active child's pose here. So the elbows aren't resting on the ground, they're lifted up. Our biceps are by our ears. We're reaching, tiptoeing our fingertips forward as we pull our hips back. As I always like to say, it doesn't matter what our poses look like. If you don't look like me, if you feel like you look ridiculous, it doesn't matter. We're just looking for a sensation in the body. So pull the hips back a little bit more. Reach the fingertips forward a little bit more. And now we're going to start off by looking between our hands. Lower the elbows down now. And then we're going to pull our chest forward. I just adjust my knees. So make any little adjustments with spacing as you need to. And then I'm bringing my chest towards my hands. As I do so, my elbows pop up, so I'm almost in this modified chaturanga position. From here, I lower my hips, and I'm just going to come up to a gentle cobra. So I'm tucking my tail between my legs to avoid crunching through my lower back. I'm not pushing through my hands. I'm using the strength of my spine, and then pushing through the hands. I'm bringing my hips back to child's pose. So again, look forward, lower the elbows, pull the chest through. Once your chest is almost between the hands, the elbows will pop up. Keep the elbows close to the sides of the body. Gentle cobra, squeeze the shoulder blades together. The weight is now out of the hands. Bringing the weight back in the hands. We're pulling back again. Now you can do another round of that with the cobra, or you can come into a gentle upward facing dog. So lower the elbows, look between the hands, pull through, elbows pop up. We're in this modified chaturanga. And now from here, I'm just coming into a gentle upward facing dog. So my thighs are still in contact with the mat. Try to push the ground away from you. And then leading with the hips, pulling all the way back. Let's do another one of those. Elbows are down. Skim through cobra or upward facing dog. Keep tucking your tail between your legs. Again, pulling back and pulling through. If you want a little bit more, you can make this upward facing dog more active. So staying on the tops of the feet, the thighs, the knees lift up off of the ground. And then pulling back to child's. Take a little rest here. Wiggle side to side. And then walk your hands over to the right hand side. Sorry, I'm going to the left. So let's do left hand side. Getting a nice side body stretch along the right side of the body. Walk them back through center. And now over to the right, getting stretch along the left side of the body. Come back through center, and we're going to come to meet in a tabletop pose. Let's cycle through some cat-cows, working with your breath. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the tail, and lift the gaze. Now from here, without actually moving where your hands and knees are, I want you to think about squeezing them towards one another, and then you're really going to activate through the front line there. Exhale. We're tucking the tail, rounding through the shoulder blades. Really exaggerate that. Push the mat away from you as you tuck your chin in towards your chest for our cat pose. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if you want to make that a little bit more fluid, then follow along with me. Otherwise, just stick with those more classic cat-cows. So the next option, we're going to inhale to our cow shape, and we're going to pull our hips back to our child's resting pose. So the gaze stays up until the hips are as far back as they come. And then lastly, my chin tucks, and now I'm rounding. So we're in this cat shape. As we're shifting forward, you might need to inch your hands a little bit forward as you lower the hips, chin stays tucked, and then head comes up last. Open up through the chest, push the shoulder blades away, away from the ears. And now we're in this cow shape, so keep the head up, lead with the tailbone all the way back. Child's. Head tucks last, and then we round forward into our up dog. Cow shape to pull back. Cat shape to round forward. One more round of that. And then we're exhaling forward. Hang out here for a moment. Just take any little movements that feel natural and good to you. Maybe just moving side to side, looking past one shoulder and then the other. And we're going to come back to tabletop. Again, we're going to extend the right leg back behind us. Keep your toes on the ground. We move through this slowly just to play around with our balance. Our balance can change day to day, so let's not rush into anything. Let's pick up the toes, and then we're going to tap our toes to the outside of the left side of the mat and then to the right side. So we're making a little rainbow arch shape with our foot. Move slow like we're moving through molasses. So it's our muscles doing the work, not momentum. Feel that right glute working. Gazes down at the mat in front of your, between your hands or a little bit ahead of them so that we have a nice neutral spine. And now bring your leg back so it's elevated, bend through the leg, and just do some hip circles here. So moving in one direction, and then reverse it. Come to a static position with that leg still bent, and now we're going to reach our left fingertips out to the side a little bit and just see how your balance is. Maybe you take your thumb, pinky, ring finger, and then middle finger off the mat or the floor, depending on where your hand is. See how your balance is. Maybe you can pick up the hand entirely. Maybe this is enough and you just need to be able to catch yourself. If your balance is feeling good, I want you to reach back for that right foot. So left hand is reaching back for the right foot. If you can't reach it, that's fine. Just stay right here and use the strength. If you are able to grab the foot, the ankle, wherever, you can kick the foot into the hand. Really open up through the front line. Getting a little bit of a chest opener, heart opener, back bend. Slowly release it down. Come back to neutral. Let's do some spine barrel rolls. So imagining your torso is in a wooden barrel that's got honey stuck to the sides of it, and with your rib cage, you're trying to scrape all of the honey off of it. Move in the other direction. And now we're going to extend our left toes back behind us. See how our balance feels. Maybe we pick up the leg, and then we're going to make that little arch shape, tapping to either side of the mat. Moving a little bit slower than you want to. Making sure it's that left glute doing all the work. Gaze is down at the mat. Nice neutral spine, so we're not like this, nor are we like this. And then let's bring the leg back to that neutral position, bend through the leg, and do 3 hip circles in one direction, and then reverse it. Find stillness, keep the leg bent, and then extend the right fingertips out to the side. Maybe you play around with picking up one finger at a time, just to see how the balance is. Maybe you pick up all of them, keep the hand here to help you, or if balance is good, reach the hand back using either strength if you can't reach the foot, or if you can grab the foot, kick the foot into the hand to open up through the front line of the body. Slowly release. Let's come back and do more of these spinal barrel rolls. Reverse. Bring your right hand to the center of your mat, reach the left arm up. We're going to thread the needle here. So really twisting through the thoracic spine, that's the area between the shoulder blades, and then thread the left hand through, come down to lay on the outside of this left shoulder, on the back side of it. Right hand is in front of you. Now you can stay right here, or a couple of options. You can reach the right arm overhead, maybe even walk behind you to get more of a spinal twist, or you can pick up the right hand, reach it behind, and see if you can bind your fingers between your hip crease. So the left hip crease, right hand is going to the left hip crease. Wherever that right hand is, we release it and bring it to the mat in front of our face, push the ground away, the left arm reaches up, and then replace the right hand with the left. Right arm reaches up, twist through the thoracic spine, thread it through, coming on to the back of that shoulder. Now we can stay right here or extend the arm overhead, maybe walk it behind so we get a nice twist, or bring the hand towards the lower back and see if you can get the fingers in that right hip crease, left fingers in the right hip crease. Release the arm wherever it is, pushes down, away. The right arm reaches up and lower back down. And now from here, we're just going to lower our hips down, come all the way down onto our bellies, excuse me. We're gonna work a little bit more with our chest opening, kind of twisting stuff that we're doing. So let's start with the left arm extended out to the side. Right arm is on the other side, so this is what my right arm is doing, just kind of like we did with thread the needle. So elbows pointing up. My gaze is past the right fingers. I'm bending through my right leg and then rolling onto the outside of my left hip. I'm reaching those right toes back away from me. Maybe you can find the hand with the toes, doesn't matter though. We're just getting a stretch through the left shoulder, chest area. So whether this left hand, the palm is in contact with the mat, maybe you flip it so the top of your hand, whatever feels good. I kind of like it where it's side, how do I explain this? You can see what it's doing. The palm is neither up nor down, it's facing the side. Let's slowly release that side. Extend the right arm. Left arm is in front of our face. Bend through the left leg. Roll to the outside of the right hip. And the left toes reach behind us. Maybe they find the right fingers, but again, doesn't matter. Let's slowly start to unravel here. Bring your forearms down in front of you. We're going to come into a Sphinx pose. So down on the forearms, hands are elbow distance apart. And now from here, to really accentuate the sensation, what we're going to do is try to pull our chest through. And as we do that, you can see my elbows slide back without actually moving. It's really just your skin moving on your bones, but you're trying to pull your chest through as you pull your elbows back. And then looking straight ahead, imagine pushing the back of your head against a wall. So you should really feel the area between your shoulder blades activate there. You can again tuck your tail between your legs to take any crunching out of the lower back, protecting that delicate, vulnerable area. Keep pushing your head flat against that imaginary wall. Pull your chest through a little bit more. Push the ground away from you, shrugging your shoulders away from your ears. Slowly release. And now with the right forearm, you're just rotating so the forearm is supporting in front of your body. Let's bend up our right leg. And then we're going to look past our left shoulder and see if we can reach for that. So with our left hand, we're reaching back for the right ankle or foot. If you can't reach it, again, you're just reaching in that general direction. If you can grab the foot, then you can kick the foot into the hand again to open up even more through the chest. Get a little bit more of a deep back bend here. Slowly release that side. Let's come back to our Sphinx. Really activate it. So shrug the shoulders away from the ears. Pull the chest through, looking straight ahead. Push the back of your head against an imaginary wall and tuck your tail between your legs. Relax out of that. Left forearm is now supporting us. We look past our right shoulder as we bend up through the left leg, and then reach back, holding here, or if you can grab the foot, maybe you kick the foot away from you to open up even more to the front line of the upper body. And a little bit deeper of a back bend. Slowly release. Lift the hips, adjust the legs as you need to. We're coming back into our child's pose, doing a couple more rounds of this modifying kind of chaturanga. So on the forearms, hold the chest through, elbows pop up, come into a cobra or upward facing dog. Lead with the hips, pull back, elbows lower, pull the chest through, upward facing dog. One more time. Lower the elbows, pull the chest through, cobra or upward facing dog, and pull the hips back. Let's come to lay on our bellies again, and you're going to need your strap this time. Keep it nearby. We're not doing it for this variation. We'll do it for the second one. So for starters, we're going to come into a floor bow. So bending up both legs. You can do pointed or flexed feet. I'm going to do pointed this time. And then grabbing one ankle at a time or both of them at the same time, and then squeezing your knees together and trying to keep everything as close as possible. Actually, you might need your strap here. If you can't reach your ankles, again, you can do a strength thing where you're just doing this, or if you want to grab your strap right now, wrap it around your ankles and hold onto the strap like that. But from here, the lower that you can grab towards your knees, the more deep you can get into this, but that'll come with time. So grab where it's comfortable for you, and then we're lifting everything up, trying to make a teardrop shape with our bodies. Lifting up. Squeezing your glutes, try to squeeze your knees a little bit closer towards one another. Really opening up through the chest and the shoulders. Lift everything up a little bit more, and then we're going to slowly come out of it, avoiding slingshotting out of it. Bring your right ear in contact with the mat. You can even bend up your legs and kind of windshield wiper left and right. All right, coming back up. We're going to do a second set. So this one is pretty intense. Full disclosure and warning. So if you want to do another set of the floor bow we just did, then by all means. Otherwise, take your strap and however awkwardly wrap it around your feet. And then you're going to grab either side with either hand. Now we're doing a floor bow again, but instead of our arms reaching behind us, our arms are reaching overhead. So this really makes it intense. So same thing, we're just kicking with our legs to lift our upper body up more, but arms are overhead. If you want it more intense, walk your hands down the strap a bit and then kick up. See if you can hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Release the strap and left ear in contact with the mat. And let your back rest. Maybe you bend up your legs. Windshield wiper. Let's bring our hands on either side of our chest. We're tucking the toes. And then I want you to lift your knees and then your pelvis off the ground, and then pushing through the hands, you're lifting the chest. And so raising ourselves up into a plank position. Let's bring our right knee in towards our chest, and then lower the knee in between the hands, getting set up for pigeon pose. You can lower down, stack the fists, rest the forehead on the fists. Take a little break here. See if you can square up the hips a little bit. So with the right leg forward, we're trying to bring our left hip more forward, our right hip more back. And then we're going to rise up. We're going to tuck the back toes and bring the heel towards the bum. So just using strength here, use that hamstring, use that glute to squeeze in as much as you can. Right hand is on the inside of that right knee. And then we're reaching back with the left hand. Again, if you can't reach the foot, that's fine. You're just hanging out right here. If you can grab the foot, I like to grab from the inside of the foot. If you want to grab the outside, then whatever you want to do. But if you've got the range of motion, grabbing from the inside of the foot and squeezing your heel in towards your bum allows your hand to kind of come to the top of your foot, and you can just get a good amount of pressure on your foot here. So like with any stretch, don't overdo it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. We're just looking for a stretching sensation. Now you can stay right here if you want something just a little bit different, not necessarily harder. It might be depending on your shoulder openness. Release your foot with your hand and let your foot slide down into the crook of your elbow. And then if you've got the balance, depending on the openness of your hips as well, like if your hips are really levitating here, it might be hard to pick up this hand, so keep it down if you need to. If you can pick up the hand, reach it overhead and see if you can find your other fingers. Same thing, if you can't, you can stay right here. Otherwise, if you can find them, just hanging out in our mermaid pose. And like with all releases, we gently come out of it. Square up again, so pull your left hip more forward, right hip more back. Settle into your pigeon. We're going to do another variation on this side before switching to the other side. Coming back up, grab your strap again. This time we're going to come into king pigeon with a strap. So wrapping it around your foot. So holding your hand like it's holding a tray and holding your strap. And then you're bringing your elbow, so it's moving away from you and towards your face in front of you. So we're ending up in this position. So if I need to show anyone that again, so you're holding your strap with your left hand like you're holding a tray and grab onto it. Your elbow's pointing down and then moving the elbow away from us and towards our face. We're flipping the elbow up. This right arm can be down to help you balance, or if you've got the balance, pick it up and reach it. And then you can walk your hands further down the strap. You can keep your gaze straight ahead, release it back, whatever feels good for you. And then slowly unravel. If you want to try king pigeon without a strap, I'm just going to quickly show you how to do this. So flexing that back foot, this is very important. Have this left hand like you're holding a tray again. Then you're grabbing the knife edge, the pinky edge of your foot with your fingers underneath, your thumb on top. Now same thing with the elbow. So you need a lot of shoulder openness. This can be really tricky for people's brains to compute, so don't get frustrated. Try it a couple ways. So as my foot starts to point, my elbow's moving again away from me and then up as much towards my face as possible. So my biceps kind of by my ear. And this requires a lot of openness. So if it feels impossible, that's all right. But if you've got it, again, same thing. Maybe the right arm stays down. Maybe it can reach overhead. Maybe you can drop the head back. Slowly release. Frame that front knee, lift it up, and we're just going to re-engage the core here. So hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step that foot back, left knee in towards the chest, lower it down. I like doing a little bit of core after intense back bendings or chest heart openers, just because it can be a lot on the nervous system and just makes everything feel a little more stable when we reintegrate the core after stretching it that much. So same thing on the side. Stack the fists opposite, hand on top. Forehead comes down. Square up the hips here, so pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Coming up, I'm going to tuck my back toes, bend through that leg. Left hand is on the inside of my left knee. Right arm reaches back. Maybe this is where we stay. Or you can grab the ankle. Again, I prefer to grab from the inside so that when I pull my heel in towards my bum, I can rotate my arm so my elbow kind of pops up and I put a good amount of pressure on my foot to really get a nice quad stretch. Again, you can stay right here, or you can release the foot and let it slide into the crook of the arm. Staying right here, or if you've got the balance, pick up the left hand, reach it back. Slowly release down. Square up again, so pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Settle down into your pigeon. And now we're going to come into king pigeon with a strap. So looking past my right shoulder, bending through my right leg, wrapping the strap around. So holding the strap like you're holding a tray. Then you can close your grip around it. Elbow moves away and then closer towards our face. So we want our bicep beside our ear. And then you can stay right here, or you can walk the hands further down the strap. Squeeze your elbows in. You can play around with shifting more forward and back, or just finding some stillness if this is really intense. Maybe the gaze drops back. And then slowly release out of it. Square everything up again. So left hip back, right hip forward. And then if you want to do a second set of king pigeon with the strap, or if you're trying a king pigeon without a strap, pick up the back foot, flex the foot. Right hand is up like you're holding a tray, grabbing the pinky knife edge of the foot, fingers underneath, thumb on top. As I start to point through my foot, my elbow is moving away from me. And then I'm bringing my elbow up, bicep as close to my ear as possible. And then shifting, squaring up through the shoulders, gaze is straight ahead. Maybe the left hand is down to help with balance. Maybe we pick it up and drop the head back too. Slowly release. It's hard to talk when you're in a back bend. Frame that front knee, tuck the back toes, engage the core, lift everything up. You'll really feel it through your spine. Those ones can be really intense. So hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just lower that knee down. We're going to come to a seated position. Cool down with a couple of chill poses here. So we come into a butterfly stretch. Soles of the feet are together. Not holding our toes, we're holding our feet like we're almost opening them up like a book. Or if you like to assist yourself in stretches, you can bring your hands to the tops of your knees and gently push down on your knees, but at the same time, push your knees into your hands. So we're building up strength in this end range. Maybe you're done with that, so then you bring your hands to your feet, and you start to fold forward. Lead with the chest for now, so nice flat back. Our chest is lowering, not our face. And now, to counteract all that back bending we did, really, really gently start to round through the spine, reach the arms forward. Move really slow here. So we're getting a nice stretch along the back, along the spine. Slowly coming out of that. Let's come into a half straddle here. So bringing one leg in like a tree pose. Other leg is extended. Foot can be pointed or flexed. We're going to rotate our torso so it's squaring up with that extended leg as much as possible, and just fold forward. Same thing, flat back here. And now we can round, bringing our forehead down. Keep sucking your belly button in towards your spine. Our transverse abdominis muscle is a muscle in our core that wraps all the way around, so you can imagine it like a corset. So imagine tightening that corset. Again, we're just reintegrating the spine after those heart openers, back bendings. Switch out the legs here. Rotate so that you're angled over that extended leg, and then fold forward, leading with the chest. Nice flat back. That foot is active, doing something, pointed or flexed. And now we can round. Coming all the way up. Just come to a cross-legged seated position. Extend your right arm out to the side. Reach the left arm overhead. Maybe lower down onto that right forearm. Get a nice side body stretch. Your gaze, your drishti can be up past the left arm. Come up through center and other side. Left hand comes down. Right arm overhead. Maybe lower to the forearm. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. Come all the way up. Let's take 3 final breaths together. So resting your wrists on your knees, palms facing up to signify openness and receptiveness. Pointers, fingers and thumbs gently touch. You can close out your eyes or look down at the mat or ground 2 or 3 feet in front of you. Let's inhale through the nose. Full lungs, and then exhale audibly through the mouth like we're fogging up a mirror. Completely empty the lungs. Again, inhale. Last one, inhale. At the top, take in 1 more sip of air, and then exhale. Push everything out from the very bottoms of your lungs. Bring your hands through the heart center and bringing your thumbs to your third eye. And in closing, we say, Namaste.